My colleagues don't think it's real legal work. You can see how there's a lot of admin associated with work like this. It doesn't just happen. These are just a few of the comments that arose during our interview with the Brisbane magistrate as we asked her to reflect on her thoughts and opinions of restorative justice conferencing. In our interviews with several police officers in Queensland, these sentiments were echoed in the perception of restorative justice as a soft option and as time and resource intensive. Today we'll be focusing on increasing referrals to restorative justice programs. My name is Jess, and this is Brittany, May and Christina, and we are the Best Centre team from QUT. Today I'm going to start by providing some context into our problem and chosen segment. Brittany will then discuss the behavioural biases and the theoretical background. May will then discuss our three-tiered strategy, real justice, grounded in self-determination theory and gamification. Finally, Christina will provide us with an implementation plan. So, over the past few days, we've heard from a number of stakeholders, and it's clear that there are significant time and admin barriers associated with referrals. So who is the best segment to target? Well, pre-charge referrals from police officers is a significant opportunity for growth. These referrals occur at the earliest point of the justice process. Police have direct contact with both victim and perpetrator, and they're in an ideal position to disseminate information and facilitate informed consent. They have both the authority and ability to refer, making the referral process simpler and faster. Yet they currently only account for 18% of total referrals. How do we target this underutilised segment? It's important to understand behaviour in order to change it. Brittany will now discuss the barriers and biases at play here.
A 2004 study on referrals to restorative justice by the Queensland Police revealed that there were three key factors influencing their referrals. The first is the perception that restorative justice takes up too much time and effort compared to the current system and is a result of the stereotyping bias, where restorative justice is automatically associated with extra work. The research, as well as an interview with a police officer, revealed that many officers have the perception of restorative justice as being soft on justice, which is the cognitive bias of selective perception, as they currently ignore positive restorative justice messages. The final key factor was the level of knowledge of the process. 85% of officers knew about restorative justice. However, of those, very little knew about the process and therefore mistrusted it. Therefore, they are subject to the availability heuristic, where they rely overtly on the information they have of the traditional system. In order to address these barriers, self-determination theory will be used to underpin our strategies for referrals. The framework posits that there are three core needs to motivate behaviour change. Autonomy is being able to do the required actions and be able to achieve the final goal. Competence is the ability to influence outcomes, and relatedness is the feeling of belonging to a social group. Self-determination theory has been commonly used as a framework for gamification for social issues, to allow people to achieve a desirable behaviour in a motivating and engaging way. Gamification is the use of game design elements in a non-game context to promote and reward positive behaviours, with a 2018 industry survey showing a 42% increase of workplace engagement with gamification. Our strategy is based on fulfilling the needs of self-determination theory and utilising gamification principles to address major barriers and increase motivations in order to increase referrals to the restorative justice program.
It's clear from the numerous barriers discussed, inherent to this case is the perception of restorative justice as a lengthy and soft option. Shifting perceptions in the short term is a difficult avenue, so we propose a long-term strategy that incorporates clear short-term wins to achieve meaningful behavioural change. Our strategy, Real Justice, aims to leverage behavioural biases in the short term through a referral ticketing system and interstation competition, and in the long term through the dissemination of these results and establishment of social norms through influencer voices. This is grounded in self-determination theory and gamification.
A significant barrier we identified was the perception that making referrals was difficult. So our intention is to make things easy. How this will work is police officers will be given a notebook that they'll carry and can take with them to when they respond to crimes. This will serve two purposes. Firstly, they can immediately assess the appropriateness of an incident for referral. They'll do this by looking at the checklist, which is a nudge from an EAST framework, and they can identify whether a case is suitable for restorative justice by looking at a set of criteria. This also is important because by allowing the police to act with autonomy and competence, it fulfills the theory of self-determination. The second part of the checklist, the little checkbook, is that they can fill in a referral ticket at the scene. This means that the process is timely, and they'll also have information sheets that they can provide to the victim and the offender. This is implying the foot in the door nudge, as by making the police fill in minor details at the scene of the crime, they're more likely to fill in the entire referral form when they head back to the station. Both these elements involve framing how the process is perceived, as well as framing perceptions of justice as real rather than restorative, shifting the perception away from justice as a historically soft option. The second part of the strategy is ensuring that these police maintain engaged and motivated, and will use the tickets from previously as a way to do so in a gamified, competitive manner. So how this will work is once an officer returns to the station and completes the referral, they can pin the ticket to the poster board as seen. Each completed referral counts towards a set of goals, which focus on hours saved, as the perceived time effort of referrals was another significant barrier. Officers will compete at an intra and interstation level on a yearly basis, with the station with the largest number of referrals being given a plaque and the top 3 performers at each station being awarded a badge as champions of justice. This is important because it plays on the police persona and is a key motivator for police officers who have strong social tendencies, and relatedness being a key element of their self-determination. The social aspect of rewards also employs a nudge of a commitment contract.
Cool. So we have one final aspect to our nudge. So a final nudge on top of this would be publishing the winning results publicly. So this could involve media releases or internal feedback. The public communication would address our long-term goal of shifting perceptions of restorative justice towards being a program that is beneficial to all parties of a crime. So our strategy has been deemed as feasible, scalable, and implementable. In comparison to traditional criminal justice, restorative justice is over 10 times more cost-effective, and RJ programs consistently see benefit-cost ratios above 1. Implementation of the Real Justice Program is low cost and will benefit from economies of scale as more stations implement the program. Our strategy is also scalable and able to be implemented in as few or as many stations as preferred. To summarise, our Real Justice strategy is easy, attractive, social and timely for the reasons we outlined earlier. At QUT, we believe in real justice, and that's why we're the university for the real world.